Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo Uchiha here, back with a part 2 of What If Naruto The Regretful Family. One of you guys commented last night about the first part of this series that many of people have made this series and it's pretty much the same. I agree with you, my guy, but as I told you in the comment section, that I will try to change this story as much as possible. Yeah, it's kind of a mix up of a lot of what ifs and some of my own creativity. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. Oh yeah, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like my content. Let's begin then. Last time we left off when Akuma Shinobi got caught trying to kidnap Hinata Yuga, and as a result, Minato sent a letter regarding his actions to the Raikage, who was a female and her name was Ei at the time. Now let's begin and continue our story. At Kumo Gakure Raikage's office, Ei sighed as she finished reading the letter, as she then slammed her fist on the table, causing it to crack in frustration, saying, "Those damn council members, they did this behind my back. I will execute them for this." As on cue, her assistant Mabui walked in with a bunch of paper bundles. "Lady Raikage, these documents need to be viewed today." As she then turned her attention towards her, after placing paper bundle on the table. "What is it bothering you, Lady A?" questioned Mabui, which A grunted and responded at, "It's those damn old council members. They tried to kidnap a Hyuga again, behind my back, and their man was discovered and captured by Konoha. And now Konoha is asking us for our reasoning, and as well as demanding us for a meeting to be held at Iron Country for peace between us can be discussed." As A finished explaining it to Mabui, and now Mabui too was pissed at this, as their council members could have caused a war between Konoha and them. But luckily for them, Konoha wants to solve this matter peacefully without causing any war or death. "When will be the meeting held, A-sama?" questioned Mabui. A just sighed. "In a week maybe," answered A, as Mabui nodded at that and left the room. Next day, the meeting was held and everything was explained to the council by A regarding the letter sent to them by Konoha, and the traitors were pointed out and escorted to the prison by Anbu for their public execution to be held, and thus meeting was concluded. As so the week passed by. Iron Country 1 week later, after council meeting in Kumo Gakure. Currently, 8 Raikage of Kumo Gakure and Minato Namikaze, Hokage of Konoha Gakure, and leader of Iron Country, of which I don't know name of, so I'm gonna continue calling him he or Iron Leader. Bear with me, please. Leader of Iron Country were sitting in our room. As leader of Iron Country said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to talk about peace between Konoha and Kumo. As I, leader of Iron Country, will be the witness of the decision that will be made and agreed upon by both leaders between them and their villages. We would like to apologize for the inconvenience that was caused by our shinobi, as I was not informed nor did I order him to do the kidnapping attempt of Hinata Yuga. But I assure you that those who were involved in the incidents were executed last Thursday publicly. I hope that would satisfy you, Hokage Dono," said A, as she crossed her arms around her chest. After hearing her, Minato smiled and said, "Well, that would be enough for that remuneration of the incident. Now shall we talk about peace treaty between Kumo and Konoha, so that we can open trade routes between our villages, as well as strengthen our bond with unity and alliance." As A snorted, "Peace treaty on paper can easily be destroyed. like it did in the past. We need something more than a paper to be sure of the about the peace between our villages this time. As she finished, Minato agreed with her by nodding. But what could be done more than signing the treaty on paper, as both Kages were now in deep thought? Iron Country leader suddenly spoke up. May I suggest an idea if you don't mind? As he said, getting attention of both Kages. Please do suggest. Iron Kage. Then they said to him in unison, what about a treaty through marriage, just like in clans? As they did in clans, marrying one person of one clan to another person of another clan. But here it will be between two villages. He finished as both Kage were deep in thought for a moment, as Minato questioned first. Who do you think would be the best for this role, as both villages will be bonded together by them? I suggest someone from both of your families, Iron Kage suggested as he spoke now. As A spoke now. But I'm the only one alongside my brother B in my family, and B being an immature idiot that he is, that leaves only me, said concluded A. And at this Iron Kage said, then why don't you to be married to someone from Hokage Dono's family? I hope he wouldn't mind this, do you, Hokage Dono? He asked Minato. As he thought about it, he thought about Menma and Mito. He thought they were child of prophecy and how he couldn't let them leave as they had to be trained to protect the world from, and then he thought about Naruto. He was already feeling guilty and pain for neglecting and ignoring his eldest son for so long throughout the years, but what he was about to do was even more guilt-worthy, as it saddened him to do this to his own son. But he had to protect Konoha as well as his children who he regarded as savior of this world. He thought that Naruto would understand and hopefully forgive him. But what he didn't know was what a big mistake he was about to make, that he and his family would regret for all eternity. My eldest son, Naruto, Uzumaki no Mikaze. Although he is 14, he is very calm and collective in nature. A kind kid, if you may ask. And he hasn't unlocked his chakra though. That is the only problem here. I hope that isn't any inconvenience to you, Lady Raikage. Minato finished. After hearing him, A sighed and said, well, I don't see any problem with that, but he would have to move here to Kumogakure and will be under jurisdiction and command of Kumo. And Konoha will have no command or control over him. These are my points that should be noted in this treaty. She finished, at which Minato nodded in agreement hesitantly, as treaty was then signed, as well as marriage date and contract was signed by both parties. And marriage date was decided that after 1 month of this meeting, the marriage will be held here in Iron Country, and only the family members and friends will be invited, and nobody else, as the meeting was concluded and both parties left and went their own ways, as it was 5 days travel back to both Konoha and Kumo from Iron Country. You can say it was pretty much the center of all 5 great villages. At Konoha, 2 days after the meeting in Iron Country, Naruto was at Senju compound backyard meditating as suddenly a surge of chakra erupted from his body, covering the whole compound. Jiraiya and Tsunade, who both were present at Senju compound, appeared from where the chakra erupted, as they were shocked expression on their faces as they saw Naruto engulfed in visibly purple chakra. So yeah guys, I have to pause here to explain you why purple chakra. As you know, in the war arc, when Orochimaru resurrects the Kages, you kind of notice when Tobirama lifts his finger, his chakra was blue, And when Hashirama stomps his foot in front of Tobirama, his body was engulfed in purple chakra. So yeah, that is why Naruto's chakra is purple here. So yeah, let's continue. Tsunade said, Naruto, you unlocked your chakra! Excitingly, as Jiraiya was happy as well. Gaki, you finally did it. I knew you were just a late bloomer, he said laughingly. But both were shocked that he had so much potent chakra. And what was more shocking that it was almost identical to that of Shodai Hokage Senju Hashirama. After which Jiraiya and Tsunade checked Naruto and started to train him. Naruto was being trained and taught by both Jiraiya and Tsunade after he learned Shadow Clones for the next days at chakra control as well as elemental and affinities jutsus. To their surprise, Naruto had 4 nature affinities: fire, wind, water, and earth, also giving him 2 Gekkeigenkais: wood release from water and earth, and boil release from fire and water, causing it to steam and boil. You know, I don't know. As a side note, I don't know about that much about boil release, so if I made up some jutsus, please don't mind or come after me in comment section. So yeah, let's continue. Wood release and boil release. When he showed them to both Jiraiya and Tsunade, both almost fainted after recovering from their shock. Tsunade started training Naruto in medical ninjutsu because of his potent chakra, while Jiraiya was teaching him elemental ninjutsus as well as some taijutsu training by Guy. As Naruto even mastered Rasengan in one day. To say he was a prodigy was the least praise for him now. When Sarutobi was informed about this, and when he saw it firsthand, he almost had an heart attack that Naruto had such potent and enormous chakra reserve, as well as 2 Gekkeigenkais, one legendary Konoha's lost Gekkeigenkai wood release and another Kirigakure's Gekkeigenkai boil release. Naruto told 3 of them, which he considered as a family and closest to him, to not tell anyone, especially his parents, because he wanted to tell them himself, as they agreed and smiled at him, and started to head towards Namikaze Uzumaki compound. Naruto was happy and thought that his parents will finally acknowledge him. Finally, as they entered the main house, as they entered the living room where they saw both Minato and Kushina sitting, both with serious faces, as all of them after seeing this got tensed up, as Sarutobi was the first one to ask, "What is the matter, Minato? Did the meeting not go well?" he asked with concern, as Minato answered, "Well, you see, at the meeting, he basically explained them what happened and the final decision that was made between the 2 leaders, that Naruto and the Raikage A, which was 32, to be married next month, first day and first date." After he was done, all of them had shocked faces. Jiraiya and Tsunade tried to protest, but when Minato showed the copy of the treaty he and Raikage had carried back to their villages to discuss, that it has been already signed by both of the leaders, both of them were quiet again. It was also irreversible. Both Minato and Kushina were overflowed with guilt and sorrow and frustration, as their eyes locked at Naruto, who was standing there silently listening to the whole thing unfold in front of him. "We are sorry, Naruto. I hope you understand. It is for the betterment of Konoha, and you have to sacrifice for it. I'm sorry, my son," said Minato, hoping his son would understand. "Why? Why me?" Naruto asked, as everyone looked at him with shock. "Why not Menma? Why me?" Naruto asked, at which Minato replied annoyingly, "Naruto, you do have to understand that it is the duty as a shinobi." But he was cut off by Naruto as he said, "I am not a damn shinobi right now. Why? Why not him? Why me? Is it because Menma has chakra and he is the supposed child of prophecy? He is the heir to Namikaze compound? Is that it? That I cannot use chakra? Is that it? That I'm useless? That I'm bringing shame to your name and your family and to this village, and that you want to get rid of me? Is that it? Is that why you are asking me to do this? Tell me, why my whole life you didn't give a damn about me, and the first thing you spoke to me after so many years is this? I never asked for anything, obeyed your every word, and this is what I get? Even after you practically disowned me by naming Menma and Mito the heir to both clans? That just that you just thought me that sorry about that, guys, that you just throw me out of our village? Why don't you send Menma or Mito? Cause I will not go. Naruto yelled in anger, which shocked everyone and pissed off already frustrated Minato and Kushina as Kushina got up and got near Naruto and slapped him. How dare you? Was all that she could say. As Minato with angry face stepped forward and said, if you are saying why I chose you over them, then yes, it is because you are practically useless without chakra. And probably never be going to become a shinobi in your life. And both Menma and Mito are child of prophecy, I know it. You just have to wait and see for yourself. They have to stay here for training, to protect shinobi world from danger. And I wasn't asking you. I am ordering you as Hokage of this village, and you will obey my order. Understand, young man? He finished and made at his child and mad at his oh my god, sorry about the word slip, guys. I wrote this what if hurriedly, so yeah, many of the spelling mistakes I did I am seeing right now, sorry about that. He finished mad at his child disrespect towards them, as everyone was shocked after hearing and seeing what both Minato and Kushina did to Naruto. Tsunade was beyond pissed at them, as well as Jiraiya, and Sarutobi, who was remaining composed and more worried about the boy. As for Naruto, this was final straw for him and his family. Just that his family has just burnt the bridge between them. As he stood up, eyes covered by dark shade of his hair, Hi Hokage-sama, he said in a deep voice, almost holding his tears, and left the house without saying a word, leaving a shocked Minato and Kushina and pissed off Jiraiya, Tsunade and Hiruzen. After lashing out on both of them that how could they do this to their own son, that they should be ashamed of themselves, Tsunade also left. So did Jiraiya, after saying to Minato that how disappointed he was in them. As both Minato and Kushina were near tears now. After realizing what they had done to their own son. Kushina was breaking down after saying that she hit her son for no reason, and so did Minato for lashing out on his own son. Sarutobi then sighed and began to explain that how they treated Naruto unfairly and left him out on events and so on, and he was pissed and even disregarded them as family, and Sarutobi, Jiraiya and Tsunade were the one that told him that they are his real family and he should give them a chance, but they just blew it. So yeah, after saying that he was disappointed in both of them and that he might never forgive them for what they did right now, which caused both Minato and Kushina to cry now, began crying, falling on the floor and crying hard. Sarutobi also left, saying his final words, "You will regret this decision, Minato. I hope this will remain in between us and not to be revealed to the younger generation until the deed is done. Goodbye." Finished Sarutobi as he left, leaving crying Minato and Kushina on the floor as they were basically crushed under their own guilt and neglect for their sons and for their actions. But unknown to them, Menma and Mito, along with Ino, who was currently with Mito after Shinobi Academy at her room when the whole thing happened downstairs, who were also listening to it, left through the window of Mito. And as both Menma and Mito were also feeling guilty and crying in their own rooms for what they did to their brother, who might never forgive them for what they did to him, Naruto was at Senju compound crying as Tsunade and Jiraiya, who had arrived, were consoling him. As this is where I'm gonna leave this part, guys. I'm quite tired after writing this, and there's sorry for so many mistakes in this. I hope that you don't go to my neck in comment sections. So yeah, this is pretty much it. I hope you like my this new what if. So yeah, this is Apollo Chiha and I'm signing out.